everybody, this is Tina with Two Chicks and a Cricut, and this is our fifth Tuesday, our Christmas Tuesday layout. It's our fifth one. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. This layout turned out completely different than what I had thought I wanted it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of pattern paper here on this side, and then I'm going to use a piece of solid paper on the other side, which is how I started out scrapbooking, and I haven't done that in a while. So the other thing is I used, just really quick, I used Winter Frolic and Winter Woodland Cricut cartridges for this layout. And then I just wanted to say that this, it's really hard to do Christmas layouts. And I think because we all get caught up in the Christmas, the Santa Claus and the snowman and the reindeer and the candy canes, and then we can't seem to find a way to incorporate all of that. So this layout, I just stuck to some real simple layering, and I didn't necessarily use Christmas stuff that you would think of. So this was a piece of paper, and this is funny how this worked out. I had wanted to use this paper, which I got a few years back. It was in a Christmas pack, but I don't have anything left of that Christmas pack other than just a few sheets. So I didn't really have anything to coordinate with this. This sheet was laying around because I'm going to do a card for my 7 days of Christmas cards. So this particular piece of paper was laying around with a piece of pink paper laying on top of it because I was going to do a card with it. So I kind of saw this with this, and I thought, oh, that might work, because I had been having a hard time getting this layout together. So that's what I did. I just used this one strip, and it has some Christmas sayings on it. Ho ho ho's, Santa Claus, rooftop visitor, but it's not, I mean, it doesn't scream Christmas. Like, there's nothing like real Christmas about it. So what I decided to do is I used my Creative Memories trimmer, and I just did a you know, a curvy trim on it. And then I did the same thing with this piece of pink paper. I did the same kind of curve. This was an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this right under each other, like this. So let's do that. I've done is I've used Winter Frolic to cut out a phrase, and this says all spruced up, and it's going to go right here. But the other thing that I did that was kind of unique for me is I cut this out of Winter Woodland, and it's just a branch, and I wanted to tie in the pictures. My daughter's wearing a little bit of brown in her shirt, and so I thought that was a really good color to bring in with the green and the pink. And so I cut that out. I was trying to find, they're decorating outside, so I was trying to find some outside stuff. And then originally my journaling was going to go on the other side, but it just worked out for it to go on this side. Like, I kind of rearranged a few things as I was doing it, and it just worked out that when I typed out my journaling, the space that how big it turned out worked out perfect on this side. And then I used some pink ribbon to tie in, and you can just see in this right here in this pattern paper that it has a little bit of pink in it, and so that's where I pulled the pink from. So I'm gonna glue this down. This is how this side looks. I'm gonna glue it down, and then I'll show you the other side. Alright, so I've glued all of this down, and this is all that I'm doing on this side. But I wanted to show you that I'm going to use a little bit of stickles just to highlight some of this pink on this side. Alright, so some of the things that I did to tie this layout all together is I used a die cut that had some circles in it because my background paper had circles in it. And then of course I tied in my colors. I picked a color I try to use 3 colors on my scrapbook pages because it just gives you a little something more to work with and the ability to tie more items in. And then the other thing is that the curves, the reason I chose to just not do strips is because this paper did have circles on it. So the curves of the cut will tie in with the paper as well. And then I also inked around the edges of my white paper that my journaling was on, and then I also chose a journaling font that was a little bit more curvy and whimsical and you know, like a little more cursive-y, you know, not so blocked, because my title has these swirls in it. So this is this side. I stickled this, and then I still might add a little something to my letters up here. I might add some white dots to it, or I might go back and stickle all of the lettering. I wanted to add some glitter to my die cuts because my background paper has some glitter on it. And then I also overlapped one of my die cuts onto my photo. And that is something that is fun to do, and I don't always do it. I think I forget, but that is a great way to use a die cut that's maybe a little bit bigger, or just overlap your photo a little bit. So now I'm going to do the second side. This is just a solid green piece. And then what I've done is something that I used to do, and I don't do it very much anymore, is I have these, I cut 4-inch squares of 4x4, and then I just slit them in half diagonal, and I'm going to put these, I'm going to frame my page out. Alright, so I just have 2 photos that are going over here. And what I did is I took brown ribbon, it's brown with pink stitching, and I used brown ribbon on this photo instead of just doing pink. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to glue these down yet, so I'm going to wait to do that, but I wanted to show you. I cut these trees out of winter woodland. And I have kind of been getting tired of my layouts because I've been sort of doing the same things, putting my die cuts in the same place, and so I was trying to do something a little bit different. And so what I chose to do is I cut 2, I'm going to show you, okay, let's start over. I'm going to show you guys how I did this tree. I'm going to layer it all on camera. But these I've already done and glued. And so these 2 are cut out at 4.5, and then this one is cut out at 3 3/4. And I'm going to put them right in the middle of my page. But I want to first show you guys what I did with the tree. So I cut this tree out at 4.5 inches, and I did it first in the color, and then I cuddle bugged it. And what I did to bring out my cuddle bug design is I happen to be using Stampin' Up! Paper today in this layout, and this is Blushing Bride. And then I took my stamp pad that is Blushing Bride, and I inked around the edges of it. And then I also, where I cuddle bugged it, I'm also going to run my ink color over the embossed part to so you can just see the embossed design. And the smaller one I embossed in swirls, and then the 2 larger ones I embossed in dots, in small dots. And this is a tone-on-tone color, so I'm using the same color paper and the same color ink, and that's called tone-on-tone. And that's really fun to do, and it just gives a subtle color on your paper. And so I'm using quick dry adhesive, and I only cut 3 of the layers. And this is the brown layer, and as you can see, my brown piece of paper, it did not, I didn't have enough. It kind of cut off, but that was okay, because I have another layer that's white that's going to go over this. And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip off this layer, and then I'm going to use quick dry adhesive And one of the things that I like to do when I am gluing something over something that I have embossed is I just take my bone folder and I kind of press those edges down, and it just kind of pushes the embossed part, it flattens it, and just allows that glue to stick. And then I always try to use a really strong adhesive. And then I just have this white layer, and it's supposed to be the snow at the bottom. This layer had more layers to it. It had kind of snow all over the tree, but I just chose not to use it. I didn't think it was really necessary. Okay, so let's get our layout. Let's bring our layout back over. And let's put it together. So let's first start with our die cuts. And I'm just going to use ATG gun on it. So I think I will just glue those at an angle, glue that one at an angle, and this one up and down. My picture's glued, and then I have this, it's called a snow rider, and it creates a dimensional snow effect. And okay, so let's try this on a piece of scratch paper first. Yeah, there we go. So with this, I just kind of want to be really, I don't want it on there perfect. I want to be kind of sloppy with it, because the whole point is it's supposed to be this dimension, it's supposed to look like snow. And a few of the other layers that came with this white layer were for the trees to like sit, it looked like snow sitting on the tree branches. And I'm going to add that feature, but I'm going to do it with this Snow Rider. And then I have one that's called Glistening Snow Rider. And when this dries, which it will take it a little bit longer to dry because it's thick, but when this dries, I'm going to go over it with the Glistening Snow Rider. And that one dries just clear with glitter in it. And so I'll still have the effect of this, of the thick snow, but it'll add a little bit of glitter. Okay, so there is my layout. So I'll take a picture of it and I will show you guys how it turns out when it's all glittered down here. I'm going to come back and just do a couple things. I just wanted to add a little bit of pink glitter. So I'm not doing every embossed dot, but I'm just doing a few here and there. I just wanted some pink glitter, and then I'm also going to do some pink glitter on the swirls, the embossed swirls. Okay guys, so there's my layout, and as always, thanks for stopping by the blog, and next week will be our 6th Christmas layout.